it's just so special for such our club, mate, our club.
Lastly, after 57 years of pain, it's coming home.
Hey there, TJ here, and welcome to Yeahthedees, where I am going through round 8 AFLW game, Saturday the 15th of October at Metricon Stadium. We absolutely slammed the Gold Coast Suns, winning by 49 points, 9-4-58 to 139 for the game. A 49-point win in Daisy Pearce's 50th game, which was quite exciting and quite fun to watch. We absolutely flexed our muscles as the Suns, who were sitting around that 7th, 8th, I think they're in 8th before this round, position, makes it a bit tough for them to get into finals with 2 more games to go before finals this season. I had an exciting moment on Saturday though. I was flying up to New South Wales for work and I was in the Virgin Lounge, and who would walk past me but Karen Paxman. And she had this gnarly scar from the head clash she had last week with Lauren Pearce, and had about 6 or 7 staples in it. I had a quick chat with her. She didn't get concussed at all, so she was right to be able to play. But yeah, the staples that she had in her head, she had about 7 or 8 of them, made the scar look quite gnarly. So that's why she was running around with her head wrapped up, so that the cut wouldn't reopen and would hopefully get healing. So she had a cracking game too, which was great. But yeah, the team was in the Virgin Lounge before I headed off. And but yeah, Karen was the only person that I could get a chance to have a chat to before I had some breakfast and had to go board myself. Yeah, it was a little bit competitive early on, but yeah, we got 3 late goals in the first quarter, which really helped open up the margin. And then we were just on top of them for pretty much the rest of the game. Daisy Pearce had the first one, a beautiful kick inside 50 that went over the defender's head, and she marked it just behind her, and then ran around the person that was just played on and kicked a ripping goal. Taylor Harris absolutely was able to bomb one after her teammate was called to play on from about 45. She had an excellent game. She's just such a presence in that forward line and has such a skill with her booming kick. So I mentioned that Karen Paxman had that head clash with Lauren Pearce. Lauren Pearce didn't end up playing that game. She did have a concussion. We had Maggie Karas come in to look after the ruck role, and she had a ripping game as well. She was tackling really well. She was getting some really nice hit outs and really fed the midfield and gave the midfield first option out of the ruck for a lot of the game. And our midfield was absolutely humming. Olivia Purcell, Eliza West, Tyler Hanks were all phenomenal, and Karen Paxman had a great game as well. It was fantastic just to see us building again off the previous few weeks' works, where our systems are really, really working. The running and overlapping is there. But what was really enjoyable, especially from a Melbourne perspective, was the inside forward 50 kicking and marking that was happening for pretty much the whole game, especially from probably about halfway through that first quarter onwards. We really dominated the inside 50s and dominated the marking, and they were able to hit multiple marks inside 50 to get it into some really good positions for us to be able to kick goals. There was a wicked goal from Eden Zanker where she took it out of the ruck and just bombed it forward and kicked a goal. Kate Hall continuing on her good form, kicking 2 goals in this game as well. We kicked another 2 goals in the third and the fourth. Sabrina Duffy had a shot right at the end of the game to try and put another goal on the board, but unfortunately it sailed wide. Yeah, to roll on 49-point winners. Olivia Purcell absolutely had the ball on the string with 32 disposals. Lily Mithen was behind her with 24. Tyler Hanks had 20, along with Shelley Heath, who also had 20. Libby Birch with the 16. Just a good spread of disposal getters across the board. Eden Zanker with 16 and 2 goals. Harris with the 3 off 14 disposals. She had 3 hit-outs herself. Didn't play as much time in the ruck because Maggie was just having a decent game and really doing some good stuff. In the team stats, and we just owned the possession of the ball. I was surprised that we actually lost the clearances, but it being very Melbourne-like, we actually won it back in turnover and came back forward that way with the ball. We went in, we had a lot more uncontested possessions than them. Contested, we were only another 12 up from them. But just the game was never in doubt. I felt once we got ahead in that first quarter, it just felt like we had control of the game the whole time, and the team was going to get the job done for Daisy on her 50th game. So yeah, great stuff by the D's. We go on to play Essendon at Casey Fields this Sunday, which I think we should get the job done there and hopefully, shore up a top 2 spot. Speaking of the ladder now, and we are sitting in second place on percentage, with Collingwood also just having the 1 loss now as well. They've gone on a pretty good run, winning the same amount of games as us since we had our only loss for the season. Brisbane absolutely smashed Adelaide, and it was really, really impressive that they got the job done there. Adelaide played Geelong this week, and Geelong's just underneath them, so that should be a very competitive game. We've got Essendon, who are just sitting just outside the 8. Brisbane are playing the Hawks, who are sitting in 13th. So they'll probably get a win. We'll probably get a win. Collingwood against North Melbourne. You'd think Collingwood would probably get the win there as well. And then Adelaide and Geelong. It's going to be very competitive for that 4th spot, but it looks like it will be between them with only the 2 games left for the season. That's pretty much my thoughts on the game. There's not a lot really interesting because we're just doing really, really well. The team is getting better each week. It's connecting each week, even though we've had a few people come in and out of the side. We had 3 changes this week. So I'm just really, really impressed with the way that the AFLW team is going about their business. I was a little worried early in the season when we were winning games, but the connection wasn't quite there. But now the chemistry is really there. You can really see all the girls working together. The game plan's coming together. The intensity is there. They're just coming to play. They're coming to play every week, and it's really, really great to see. And it's just, we've got such a tight team here, and they're just great to get behind. So if you didn't see any of the game, go and check out all the moments on the Melbourne YouTube. They've got about a 2.5, 3 minute clip that has quite a few good highlights in there. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on the game. Now for a bit of fun, I did decide to put together my best 23 for 2023, so let's have a look at that now. Yeah, so this is what I think we should probably go with in round 1 if everybody's fit for 2023. It's not a huge change from what the coaches ran with this year, but I've heard that about 11 players carried injuries into the final series, which is really disappointing to hear. You really shouldn't be playing injured players. Our defense for 2022 was very, very similar to 2021 in terms of how many points across the 22 rounds that they conceded. So I would be looking at running that back 6 again, and probably keeping Angus Brayshaw back there. If not Angus Brayshaw, then I would be looking at one of the people I've got in the sub, in the emergencies down here, either a Disco Turner or an Adam Tomlinson, who's the name just behind my back there. And then Angus can go into either the wing rotation or midfield rotation, but I think James Jordan is going to probably be doing that role. He was quite high up in the best and fairest before he got injured. I think he was sitting 5th before he got injured towards the end of the year, so it just shows how much the coaches and the assistant coaches really value what he does, and I think we were really missing him in those final series as well. I think Lockie Hunter comes up onto the wing. His elite kicking will really, really help us. And then, he can rotate through with James Jordan. Ed Langdon will do Ed Langdon things on the wing, and he will stay there. I know that Alex Neil-Bullen is a bit of a whipping boy, and a lot of people don't like him, but the coaches give him roles, and he executes them because he's very high up in the best and fairest all the time, so he's not going anywhere. Charlie Spargo had the best rate for inside 50 kicking for being marked, and it wasn't even close. He was about 25% higher than anyone else. I know he gets whipped a bit as well, but he hits targets and he gets plenty of goal assists, so that's why I've got him on the other flank. Cozzy and Bailey in the 2 pockets I think would be fantastic. Might surprise some people that I've got Brodie Grundy sitting here at half forward and Max Gawn in the ruck. Something that we do, and it did a lot in 2022, is after the ball is bounced, especially if we're going forward after the ball is bounced, Christian Petrarca would run forward and Alex Neil-Bullen would come up and take his opposition player and try to help him get some space. I think we might be doing that with the ruck work. Once the centre bounce is gone, I think Max Gawn will either be, moving towards becoming a full forward by the end of the year, possibly because he's super tall and he's got one of the best contested marks in the league, or Brodie Grundy will then, after the centre bounce, come up and take the ruckman, and Max Gawn will go back and start floating. We generally play one less around the contest because we back our players who are contested ball winners to win. So I think that this would give the opportunity for Max to go back to that floating across half-back role, help out the defence. Tom McDonald coming back would be huge. He's running up and down the ground. His tank is really invaluable. And, we really missed him. Hopefully he can get healthy with his foot injury. Liz Frank injuries are really terrible and they can be hard to recover from. So if he's not working or not fit, then we'd go to the emergency list and either bring in a Ben Brown if his knee is right, or a Jacob Van Rooyen, who is definitely due for a spell in the seniors for 2023. We're all excited for it. We all want to see it. He actually had a ripping VFL grand final and didn't kick a goal. You can do a lot without touching the ball, and we saw that in the 2021 grand final with Keziah Pickett. Only had the 4 or 6 disposals, but he had such an impact around the ground by doing blocks. Went with, Max Gawn, Clayton Oliver, and Jack Viney, and Christian Petrarca in the centre. I think they're the best 3 contested mids that we can go with, and we should back them in as well. Angus Brayshaw can also rotate in there and take some time off of Jack Viney or Christian Petrarca or Clayton Oliver. And then we've also got a James Harms or Tom Sparrow coming off the bench that can play those roles along with James Jordan. Got Jake Bowie as the 7th man in defence who can come through and rotate through those roles. You can take Jake Bowie and any of the back 6 and kind of rotate through that, and we would be pretty solid in defence. Cade Chandler, I really want to see him get a go this year. He's definitely got the skills, and if Alex Neil-Bullen or Charlie Spargo isn't really doing their role, then I could see him coming in quite quickly and really put some pressure on those roles. I think Disco Turner, Adam Tomlinson are the next 2 best backmen to come up, and Ben Brown and Jacob Van Rooyen are the next 2 best forwards to come in for the side. And then we've also got some other players still developing in, like Bailey Laurie and Blake Howes, that I'm really excited for. Tajwo Woden, I really like the way that he's gone about things in his first year. So things are still pretty exciting. I don't think we'll see Josh Schache much at senior level. I think he's a bit of a backup in case Tom McDonald and Jacob Van Rooyen might not get injured, or Ben Brown's knee isn't up to it, or whatever it is. So that's my initial sort of best 23 for 2023. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and thank you very much for watching Yeahthedees.
Petrarca! Oh, wow! How good is that? Sparrow to make it a 3-goal, 3-pointer dive. He's got it! Surely not another one. Handball to Oliver, streaming through. Bang! Bang, bang, bang! Melbourne are the premiers for 2021!
And it's just so special for our club, mate, our club.
Lastly, after 57 years of pain, it's coming home.